Good afternoon. My name is Ken Novenstern from Fredman, Baken and Novenstern LLP in Mount Kisco and White Plains, New York. And I did a prior video describing the elements of a separation agreement and the importance of a separation agreement. Today, I really want to talk to you about what I consider to be the single most important piece of information I can give you with regard to separation agreements and possibly with regard to your divorce. Separation agreements are a critical part of working out your separation or divorce, whether it's in collaborative or litigation. Almost every case ends up at a point where you're working out the terms of a stipulation of settlement or a separation agreement. And I have found myself over the course of the last few weeks working on so many cases where the parties were divorced a few years ago and now they're back in court or they're back in some process, possibly mediation or collaborative, and they're dealing with terms of their agreement that are somewhat ambiguous. And in one case in particular, we're dealing with the terms dealing with college and child support, with one child having finished college, one child currently in college, and the agreement has several different components to the college education provision. Things like what the obligation of the parents is generally with respect to college, the typical SUNY cap, State University of New York cap, and a room and board credit, what has to be paid by 529 accounts and other accounts or loans. And so what I really am trying to convey here is the importance of paying attention when your agreement is being drafted and reading the agreement, questioning your attorney, thinking about the implications, especially with these provisions that are longer term provisions. You know, if you're talking about selling the house right away and dividing the proceeds, that's pretty straightforward. But if you're talking about college, 5, 7, 10 years down the road, and what's going to happen when one child is in college and then a second child is in college and then a child emancipates and graduates from college, and what happens with reductions in child support, room and board credits, it can really get a little crazy. And so at the time the agreement is being drafted, you really have to pay attention and really need to make sure that you're questioning your attorney, that you're looking at these provisions and making sure that they flow together. Because if they don't, then several years down the road, you're going to be dealing with these issues again. And clients always tell me that it feels like they're going through the divorce all over again, 5 years, 10 years after the divorce has taken place. So question your attorney, question yourself. One of the problems that we find is that by the time you're working out those final provisions of an agreement, everyone is so worn out that you just want to get the agreement done. But please be careful, and especially with these provisions that are going to be coming into play 5 or 10 years down the road, take the time to read through carefully and make sure you're doing what you need to do, and it's understandable, logical, and is what is most important for you and your children. So if you have any questions, either starting a divorce or where you've been divorced already and you need to deal with these kinds of issues, certainly please contact me. Take care.